Good morning. It's Johnny Sunshine. Come on, you guys, shut up. That was like rah, rah, rah. So, guys, I'm doing this video this morning. It's Friday, I think maybe the 10th of January. Let me see here. Did a job yesterday. Yeah, it's the 10th. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. I did a job yesterday where I went and repaired a shower valve, put a new mowing cartridge in, and repaired a shower drain. It was not, when I say repair, it was strictly a cosmetic repair. Had nothing to do with the sealing of it. The shower's been working fine. And I posted the video, and you know, YouTube's a tough fucking place to exist, man. The critics are there, the trolls, it's tough. And I get up this morning and I look to see how that video did, and the first comment that I read was from the woman who lives there. And I'm gonna read this. I mean, it's a cruel fucking place, YouTube. So, and I'm part of it. Let's see what the comments, what her comment was. And I hate to upset these people. I feel terrible about it, putting the video up. And she's absolutely right with her comments. And I feel the need to try to make it as right as I can. Let me go get some Kleenex because my eyes are really bad this morning. Yeah, so Bella, come on now. So I'm gonna pin her comment because it's gonna stay at the top of the list. And unfortunately, to the homeowner and her beautiful family, living a very harmonious life, and all of a sudden now they're on YouTube with the critics slinging mud at them. And I'm part of that as a contractor, as a plumber. It's commonplace, unfortunate, but this is the reality of it, that, you know, we think our shit doesn't stink, basically. And it's, you know, we walk up to jobs and immediately we're like, look at what this guy did, and look at what they did, and blah, 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 blah. What a fucking idiot. So for that, I apologize, and I'm part and parcel to this problem. But YouTube is a tough place, man. Very nasty. It breeds nasty comments, and normal people are not used to that, man. We live in a very, very nasty, mean-spirited world right now. And so this woman, I'm going to read you her post. So I just wanted to say, that is my daughter and her teenage son who did the tile work. It was the first time they had tiled anything, and they did it together, which is great. And I would tell you that to not be afraid to jump into something of that magnitude for the first time is a big deal. A shower, I don't think there's a tougher thing to do than tile a shower, because it's nothing but cuts. They put a niche in the wall. It is the busiest part of a house when it comes to tile, and it's like, you know, it's out there front and center, man. So I give them credit for even wanting to attack that, to try to do that. So I didn't know the backstory. I didn't know who did the tile. I was just looking at it like they hired somebody and this is what they got. Whether it was them or not, I didn't know. I didn't know the history of the house, whether they just bought it and it was like that when they got it. It says this is the first time that the kids had tiled anything. They did it together. I'm sure all of you people who are making such derogatory comments can do it better. But for the first tile job, it wasn't that bad. And I will tell you that, you know, the tile is stuck to the wall. When I replaced the PosiTemp shower valve, the cartridge, I was like, wow, this, you know, this stuff's on the wall and it's good, you know what I mean? There was no problem with the wall. Really, the only thing was the drain, and it was a simple fix that they didn't know what to do. And I'm going to continue to read her comment, because it needs to be put out there, man. Our comments and what we say, you know, sticks and stones may break our bones, but names or derogatory statements will never. It's wrong. They hurt, man. And I'm sure these people, after watching that video, thinking it was going to be something fun, you know, as I enjoyed being there, man. They're cool people and my kind of people. And all of a sudden now they're in this nasty world of YouTube. So it's pretty bad. I feel bad. I'm probably going to take the video down, but I'm going to call them and apologize to them. But it says, I'm sure all of you people who are making such derogatory comments can do it better. But for the first tile job, it wasn't that bad. And, you know, she's correct. I mean, it's waterproof. Like I said, the only thing I did was Cosmetic to make the drain look a little bit better. The shower's working fine. It's not leaking water anywhere. And I'm going to get into how they did the floor and why the problem was there. So anyways, she was saying kindness is free to give, and she's absolutely right. And that's really what I try to do, and not perfect at it. And I can be critical. And it says kindness is free to give. Try spreading it around a little, people. Dang. These are great people. Or if it bothers you that much and is so awful, why not offer to help or tutor or mentor or come to fix it, instead of making snarky comments behind your computer? And we call them trolls. I call them fucking assholes. And I block them, you know, for the most part. So I want to get into YouTube's a terrible place. Anybody who's on YouTube is falling victim to these people and their nasty fucking comments. It's more about them than me or you. They have this venom in them that comes out of them all the time, and it's terrible. And I think that we're going in the wrong direction when you say stop. You know, be kind. We're not becoming more kind in this country, unfortunately. And I just love the fact that today, for most of these people, unfortunately, they think Donald Trump's, you know, the second coming of Christ, and today is Judgment Day for old Donnie boy. And they'll be the first ones out there saying that, you know, it's unfair and all this bullshit. Yeah. So anyways, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to do a little thing here on my whiteboard. I'm going to show you what they had. And how they could have fixed this problem. So this is the shower, right? It's a recessed shower in a new house. When you come there's going to be a pipe coming up from the floor. Then there's a trap underneath it in the shower. This has a glue-on Odie shower drain that was put on tub set. Then the tile guys show up after that, and they pack the floor with pitch on it, like this, so that the water in the shower drains towards the shower drain, and the pack is the thickness of the tile below the drain. Very technical. It's got to be precise. Like I said, showers are the focal point of a bathroom, and it is a challenge to tile. It isn't for amateurs. It's a real challenge. So anyways, for whatever reason, it appears that they wanted to change the tile in the shower. They wanted to upgrade it. And they did that. They bought all the tile. And what they did was they left this tile. You'll have a line here with the original tile. And this is where they messed up. They didn't know enough that this had to be jackhammered up or opened up, and this drain needed to be raised to the new level of the new tile. So this is what they had. The new tile line. And unfortunately, the old drain was down here. And this was the good thing is that this original tile was pre-sloped, so it's not an issue that this was an open joint to the thin set, because it was, even if it got wet, it was going to be pitched back to the drain. So water and mold and stuff like that was not an issue. This didn't have a pan on it. It was a recessed shower. So what I did yesterday, to help them out, because it was unfinished and they just didn't know what to do, you know what I mean? And it was big tile. It was those big long pieces, and that's hard to do. That is, you can't, putting those things in, you got to be very, very skilled to make sure the whole tile is level. So anyways, let me erase this. So this is where we are. That's how it started at the drain. So this is where we are. We got a pipe coming up with an Odie drain on it, and this is the drain. And we got the new level of the tile up here. And the shower's working fine. It's just unsightly. So what I did was I took a 4-inch. My whole mission there was to try to cover the cuts that were around that drain. And any tile guy will tell you that cutting a perfect circle around a shower drain, it takes skill, man. You're not going to get it right the first time, and these kids, they didn't get it right, but it worked. It wasn't a total disaster. So what I did was I used these insert type drains covers for mainly in restaurants and stuff, where you can bring a 4-inch pipe up into a slab, into a room or whatever, and instead of having to go through a bunch of bullshit trying to get the drain on, you just glue it inside and it sits flush on the floor. The only problem with that is they don't have weep holes around that, so if the floor is pitched, you could end up with like a 1/4 inch of water showing up on that drain around it, and it will just stay there. So that's why I drilled the hole, the weep holes through that at the lowest point, so that they don't end up with a little puddle around the drain. So that's what I did. What the repair that I did on that shower was a cosmetic repair. Yeah, I know how to repair it. I could have, there were 4 tiles coming into that shower. I mean, into this drain. it would have been a big job to repair that, tile-wise. Yeah, I could have used an inside cutter, cut this thing off, put a coupling on, and used the same drain and brought it up to the level, but then they would have had to repair 4 tiles. This was a quick fix. It's way better than what they had, and, you know, it is what it is, guys. But there's always going to be, you know, to the homeowners out who I was working for, I get this shit every day on my channel. There's always a fucking mudslinger just tearing me a new asshole, beating me into the ground, and telling me I'm a fucking amateur, I'm this, I'm that, blah, 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 blah. And I just block them because I can't stand them. I hate them. These are people who would never say that shit to your face. Like she said in her comment, they sit behind their keyboard and, you know, type these nasty comments. And, you know, in this perfect world we live in, God forbid you do something that ain't fucking, you know, to the letter of the law. And I go back to Donald Trump. Yeah. Judgment Day, people. I just love it. So anyways, that's how you would repair that. You use an inside cutter. You don't have to make a big hole. You just need to, actually, you don't even, you know, you could actually use the inside cutter, cut that pipe and pry it out and then chip around it enough, or use an inside coupling, 2-inch inside coupling, which isn't going to, it's not, you know, up to code, but it's a vertical pipe. It would never be an issue, and you could have raised that drain. The problem was I just wanted to get in there, help get this thing cleaned up, make it safe, no sharp edges of tile, and it looks good, man. It's not a problem, but the nasty naysayers, they come out in droves, and for that I apologize to this beautiful family, living in harmony, people singing and writing songs, and just real people, man. And it's tough, man, and I apologize again to you guys. So I want to say that, you know, I started out the new year saying I go back to that speech by Teddy Roosevelt about the critics. You know, it's called In the Arena, and there are so many critics out there that, you know, you're out there doing the best you can. Her daughter and her grandson tackled. They had the you know, the will. They weren't afraid to do something they didn't know about, you know, and those are the people we want. Those are the people who make things happen in this world, not the, you know, the people who are afraid to step out of line. But unfortunately, these people, with something that could have been a beautiful thing, turned into, probably for them, it probably made their stomachs churn all night, and they probably thought about it a lot, and very sorry for that. I don't know what's better to do, take the video down and just let it end, or stay in there in the fight and try to, you know, prove a point that these comments, man, fucking hurt people. They hurt, and every single person in YouTube, whether they admit it or not, have been victims of this, man. It is a cruel, nasty fucking world out here. So many people just ready to fucking attack you, tell you you're not up to par, and you know, when you go through life like that and somebody's chipping away at you, you know, every time you do something, instead of saying, wow, you did 1,000 things right, but that one little thing is, you know, what we're going to talk about, and we're going to make you feel bad about it. So it is what it is, guys. It's terrible, and I think that the drain looks good. yeah, the tile, I'm not going to critique their job. I mean, as a professional plumber and somebody who did new construction for a long time, I have a very critical eye when it comes to stuff like that. So the tile work was definitely not up to professional standards. But I've done a lot of shit at my house that isn't either. You know, it just don't. It's not on blast on YouTube. But her husband, the woman's husband, is an electrician, and I need a good electrician to call and ask questions, and he's a good guy, man. We're on the same page on many, many levels, and to him, I apologize, brother, for bringing YouTube into your life. If you see this video and you want me to pull that video down, I will be more than happy to do that. So, I just needed to get that out. If anybody's got questions on how to, build a shower and make the drain, it's very tedious and technical. You got to be good at it, man. You got to be good to get that pack under a shower perfect, thinking about how much thin set you're going to put on, and then make the top of that tile run right perfect into the top of that shower drain. Not only that, but then it's going to be a perfect cut all the way around. And if it's not, it sticks out like a sore thumb, unfortunately. So kudos to those kids that attempted that. And like I said, it's watertight, man. They don't have issues where I've seen professionals do shit that, showers have to be torn apart all the fucking time. So, because they weren't done right, It is what it is. Anyways, I pinned her comments. And I would say for anybody to that, even that family, I'm probably gonna try to post the speech from Teddy Roosevelt in the arena, and it talks about the critic, and the critic don't count, Jack. It's the people who are out there doing the fucking work that count, and the people who aren't afraid to do something they never did that count. So anyways, let's move on, guys. It's Friday. It's Judgment Day for Donnie Boy. And I don't know what's going to happen. I can't imagine they're going to lock this guy up. But I'm hoping that $500 million fine doesn't go away for him. And the fact of the matter is, guys, that, and I know a lot of you hate the politics, but this is a big day, man. What's happening, this is the end of just 10 years of tumult, It's been terrible, but Donnie Boy's gonna, the Teflon Don, we all know who that was, and eventually the shit you do catches up to you, so someday Donnie's gonna have to face the consequences of the way he's lived his life, and so aren't the people who put a guy like that in power, man. A convict, a fucking convict, man. Not one little charge, but 34 of them. And that's just what we know about this guy. So, anyways, I'm not going to go there. You all know I fucking hate Trump. And all of this kind of ties together, the division in this country, the nastiness. And I'm totally swept up in it. I try not to watch the news anymore. I try to be out of the loop. I don't want that shit in my life anymore. And I'm doing the best that I can to not speak my mind on that subject, because I realize that it's a fruitless effort, man. Takes a lot of energy, and you just, you know, we've all been pulled down into the gutter. Yeah, it's been nasty. But anyways, I'm gonna let this go at 26 minutes. I really just needed to put that out there, that, you know, I think that we affected this family in a negative way, this YouTube, and hopefully some of you will hear what I'm trying to get across. And again, I apologize to that family. They're beautiful people, and fucking reality sucks sometimes.